talking about the range of where people are at from poverty to they've self-made millionaires
Mm-hmm.
or more. What can different people in different income brackets expect in terms of like the difference between what they might pay for Medicare or
You can talk about the IRMAA and top
Mm-hmm.
end, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about the lower end.
Yeah. So if sometimes people, if they have a higher income, individual income 105,000 in 2025, if they're a couple making over 210,000, well then if they're so-called a modified adjusted gross income, if it's over 210,000, they're probably going to be paying a little bit more for Medicare, right? So rather than 185, most people pay, maybe they're going to be paying 225 or whatever. And same as Part D, the drugs are going to be paying a little bit more for that. So, and it goes all the way up to about $525,000 income, and then it's the same for everybody after that. So there's different columns based on income. So we call that IRMAA, which is my what's that? Income
Related modified monthly.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. Then, but the other part of that is a lot of times with my IRMAA clients, the IRMAA is always based on 2 years ago. So in 2025, they take their 2023 income and say, hey, here's what your income is. Here's what you're going to charge you for your Medicare. But somebody says, well, that was back in 2023 when I was working and I was making a lot. Now in 2025, I'm not there.
sure.
Well, then that's something that Dan and I help people with. We have some forms we fill out. We help them go. I've got basically the chassis. They just plug in this. And with that, Medicare will turn to them and say, Social Security says, you know what, you don't have to pay extra because that's not your income level now. So we save people thousands and thousands of dollars. And again, no cost to anything we do. And they're very grateful just because we do and have enough reps of that. So that's the people at the high end. People are going to be paying more. Dan, how would you say what would you do to have people pay less?
If you qualify, it's means testing. If you have a certain amount of assets, not including your home, your car, and your income is below a certain amount, that's, for a single, married, filing jointly. I'm not going to give you the numbers because they're going to change for 2026, but if you want to post that on our website, those numbers and what it looks like, but people can always text, hey, what are those numbers? Can I apply? Yeah, it doesn't cost anything, and if you don't qualify, you don't qualify, but at least you kind of know you're doing what you need to do. So there's two primary programs that we help people to reduce their costs for Medicare. One is through the Medicare Savings Program. So like Cary said earlier, Part A is zero. Part B in 2025 is $185 a month. So if you qualify, you get that. You're still obligated, but the state of South Dakota and Social Security end up paying that on your behalf. So that's
180,
the 185 for Part B.
Yep. All right.
Then Part D, the medications programs called Extra Help. Depends on what area of the state, what level of government, or who you're working with, but it's Extra Help, low income subsidy, and all that deals is your drug costs or your medications. So there's three costs with Part D. You have a premium, you have a deductible, and you have copays. So depending on what level of LIS you qualify for will determine how much support you're going to get. I have some people, if they get the right plan with LIS, they end up paying zero for their medications. But once again, it just doesn't fall in your lap. You have to apply for it, and then every couple of years you're going to have to prove that that the way you qualified for it, you're still eligible for the program. So Medicare Savings Program, Extra Help, low income subsidy is how we help lower income folks.
Yeah. So we have people that come to us and say, hey, I make $1,050 a month for my Social Security. That's what I live on. That's my whole paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they take $185 out of that, that's a major chunk of that. Oh, by the way, I still need to have rent,
Yep.
heat, all those kind of things. And so it's like they need help, and they didn't realize, hey, there is help, so that, and we can help you get there.